This is the X Sports Network.
At McDonald's HVAC Heating and Cooling, ensuring your indoor comfort is a commitment we stand behind. From one family to another.
McDonald's HVAC provides residential and commercial customers with repair and maintenance services on a wide range of indoor comfort systems. An American Standard custom care dealer. The world's most efficient and durable comfort systems, competitively priced from people dedicated to your total satisfaction. For trustworthy service, value, and peace of mind, contact McDonald's HVAC today.
There's no job too big or too small for Gonzalez Lawn and Landscapes. Owner Chris Gonzalez works hard to make your commercial or residential properties one of the neighbors will envy. You won't find a lower price anywhere else, and that's a guarantee. We offer mowing, landscape removal, small construction jobs, and more. Our team is licensed and insured to ensure the best work for Lawrence County and surrounding areas. Your satisfaction is our goal. We won't leave until you're happy. Call today to set up a free quote.
Banking made simple and convenient. At Builtwell Bank, we're here for you. Whether you're making a milestone purchase or saving for retirement, our dedicated financial team will walk with you every step of the way because we care. From personal banking accounts to making sure your business and commercial needs are met, we'll make sure you have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and goals. Serving Lawrenceburg and Summertown. Come see us today. Member FDIC.
We don't know what the weather is going to be like around here. I do get really anxious during storms.
That's why they chose HailGuard. When performance leads, confidence follows. Backed by the first and only asphalt shingle system with a hail warranty.
That just gives us more peace of mind.
This is the only asphalt product on the market that has the manufacturer warranty targeting the hail damage, and it gives me a lot of confidence as a contractor.
Engineered for enhanced impact performance. Built to protect homes and reputations. HailGuard shingles. Built for hail.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
This is the X Sports Network.
Shaky start, but we're going to get there. Welcome, everybody, back here to another episode of X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen, our studio. It's there in theory. In theory, it's there, but we're making some much needed adjustments. Ben Luna and Kevin Ryan, Corey, and you worked on it. I was in Wayne County doing some previews yesterday, and Kate's still a college kid, so he's doing all that fun stuff. But it's looking good from what I was able to see, and we got hopefully the people get in there and get that thing fixed up, and we'll be back in there. But for now, we're just hanging out and this is literally my dining room. All you crazy kids that drive here at 6 a.m. or sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning, that road's right there. I know who you are. I've made several threats. I will get you back at some point. I know who you are. I know what you drive. I know your license plates, and I will follow you in the future. When you have kids, I will find a way to wake them up.
And see, I feel like that's the one thing that you haven't really thought of a whole lot with the Springer Road construction is these back roads have gotten a lot more traffic on them.
You should. When I picked up my kids yesterday at 3 o'clock, and they were just releasing them. When I rolled in here, literally right down the road next to where my in-laws live, there was like 15 cars coming right down that road.
I was right behind you earlier, probably about 20-30 minutes ago, leaving McDonald's. I got some lunch, man. We were lined up on that little side street.
Turn on
Weekly Creek.
And I think we got word Monday or Tuesday, maybe. I think it was Monday when we were having our meeting there. Ben come in, and I think somebody got a notification. I think Samuel did that Springer Road construction is on
It was on pause.
It was on pause. Apparently, they ran out of asphalt or something like that. I don't know if you knew that, AJ, but
oh no, I read it. I've been making several jokes, several jokes.
But they got another little bit of asphalt put on it today. There was somebody driving on it earlier.
I did see that
I don't know if they were supposed to be, but there was somebody driving on it both ways, down and up. So hopefully they'll get that.
With a sign sitting there that
says road closed ahead.
Road closed ahead. So I don't know if that was meant to be or not.
This is. I mean, it's like of all the times, because I remember, when they were doing the stuff on the fields, and there was a bunch of people like, man, well, we need our roads fixed. I'm like, well, apparently they have the money because they're doing it at the worst possible time. I mean, I know we've had a lot of rain, and we're probably going to get some more, but like you've waited till a week before school started to start that?
Yeah, and it was the week that all the in-service started, so all the teachers were already up here every day. Not as many of the kids, obviously, but
going back about 10 years, that road's only about 10 years old because it got totally redone right before that 2015 World Series. I think that Ryan played in. I think when they played in it here, come runner up, but they redone it then, and then here about a little over 10 years later, having to do it again.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
But it's going to be great when it's done.
Yeah. You're right.
Traffic's been great. We normally do get a good amount of traffic here in the morning because there's a lot of people that lived out here, and there's so many ways. I don't even use Springer when I go to Pulaski. I just go out this way. And
the dips down there.
Yeah, it's like Monster Jam out there.
It is.
Sometimes. If you're not ready for it.
Yeah,
especially in a low car.
Yeah, I would say it's the going real slow, or you hear the,
Yeah, it turns into Monster Jam motocross if you don't know what's about to happen out there. Or if you're like, my wife's dream car. She wanted a minivan for all of her life, and it's it sits an inch and a half off the ground, so I have to go over those dips in an angle. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing imaginable. I know why they did it, because of the flood, and it makes complete sense, and I'm not knocking that. I've just
it can be an inconvenience sometimes.
It can be at time to time, but we are doing this. My dog is literally behind Mike, so if you hear any barking, she's right now cleaning herself right now, and she's really mad that I'm bringing her up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she did not. She did not give Kate and Mike a warm welcome.
No, not at all.
She's settled in. She's giving me the side eye, really bad right now. Well, guys, let's get into. Last night you guys had some volleyball. Middle school volleyball kicked off earlier this week, but you guys had some. Both of you guys had some volleyball over the last couple nights.
Yeah, got to see South Lawrence in action on the first day of school on Monday. Took on Lewis County out in Hohenwald, and it was a great start for the Lady Stallions. Lost a lot of talent from last year's team, moving up to the high school ranks, obviously, and they retooled excellently. Had some new players on the team, but really good. I would say your cousin Izzy had a great game with one of those 8th graders. So I think it's going to be a very fun season for the Lady Stallions. Had a deep bench, ran 7 or 8 deep. So looks like it could be a pretty fun fall for them.
Speaking of the Lady Stallions, one of their rivals, especially last year towards the end of the year, Lady Stallions went up a whole lot against Summertown Middle School.
Yep.
And I got to call Summertown at New Prospect last night, and it was controlled by Summertown in both sets. We'll just say that New Prospect did struggle a little bit, but it is the beginning of the season. I think it had to be either these two teams' first or second game. I would have to say. I don't know if it was their second game, but if not, it was definitely their first. And for sure, some growing pains. Having for New Prospect side, just trying to get some things figured out. The JV match when I come in, them JV girls really was getting after it, and it was very competitive. And I don't mean to speak bad against the New Prospect varsity team, but the two JV teams, it was almost more exciting to watch than the varsity game. And you'll have that sometimes, but especially early in the season.
Well, I would say it got really loud in Lewis County's gym because Lewis County's JV actually took one of the sets from South Lawrence, and that was as loud as it got all night. I mean, great fans out there.
Couple key players. Just while I'm sitting here, I'm kind of got it pulled up here too. Zoe Kilpatrick played very well. for number 3 for Summertown. Also, Maddie Jones did some good things over there. She's a friend of mine. Her family's a friend of ours. They go to church with us. So a good player there. And number 21 in the middle, McMullen, she had several good hits. But a lot of their points come off aces, Michael and AJ. A lot of them did come off aces, and New Prospect just couldn't seem to control it.
Yeah, and the Lady Stallions, Kaufman hasn't played yet.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they get into action next week.
Okay.
Yes, next Monday they'll be taking on North Middle.
Okay, but tomorrow night, Kate and I will be watching, and you've got South Lawrence football. Kate and I will be at
Hendrick Stags.
Hendrick Stags, Kaufman football, and the Stallions got Columbia Academy. The Panthers got Withthorn, so we'll be in action tomorrow night with football, and looking forward to that, and getting back on the gridiron to see what happens.
Right, one Lawrence County team going to Columbia, and one Columbia team coming down to Lawrenceburg to play the Panthers. So.
It should be a fun matchup. South Lawrence had some really good scrimmages early in the season against Perry County, against Linden Middle School, so I'm excited to see them in action. First year head coach Daniel Smith, me and him are good friends, so it's good to see his team in action.
Yeah, and too, AJ, I was up there. I might have mentioned this on one of our shows last week, but the field for up at Hendrick Stags really looks nice. Got some new grass in there, got some leveled things off where that top, whatever you called that the other day,
the crown.
The crown. There we go. The crown kind of leveled it out a little bit and got things painted up, and the field looks very nice. And I'm excited for some Eagle Kaufman football tomorrow night.
And
it's that time of year. It's football time.
Yeah, well,
college football this month. I mean, we're getting into it. High school football.
Even middle school. I mean, we got it all.
Even middle school, exactly.
Yeah, and I've been traveling around as well. I've gotten to see Richland, Collinwood, and Wayne County over the last couple days. Richland, I mean, they're back-to-back state quarterfinals. One of these days, they're going to get them dang McKenzie people at some point.
I would say, and that's always the problem is they've kind of had the problem that Loretto's region a couple years ago had, where they just run into McKenzie, who is always a semifinalist or a state finalist in the quarterfinals. So if they can somehow get over the hump, which they got close to it last year, it could be a fun fall for the folks in Richland.
Yeah, it's. They've got so much talent. They really do. It's crazy how much talent that they have. They got their quarterback back, who was incredible last year. Another big thing for them is they've got a very big, very young offensive line. I mean, these guys are massive, and that could certainly pay dividends. The return when you look at Collinwood, they got a brand new head coach, Coach Cruz. We've talked with him before. They did a joint practice. I was at their joint practice with Lawrence County. Their preview is going to air. Richland's preview is going to air today, or it should be already on. Hopefully, I did it right and it's already on. Collinwood's will be tomorrow, and Wayne County's will be Friday. But Collinwood, they did a joint practice with Lawrence County. They got some big kids, but as Coach Cruz told me, their numbers are a little bit down. But man, the enthusiasm with this team, they're changing a lot of things around. They're trying to kind of modernize, I guess that's the way you could put it.
Yeah.
How they do things offensively and defensively. It might not show on the field in year one, but I think if the kids stick with it, and Coach Cruz is very dedicated. He's got a lot of really good coaches on his staff. They all stick with it. This can turn into something special.
Yeah, and he's a guy. And I remember his first year at Loretto. The numbers were low, and they struggled. But that next year, there were a ton of kids that hadn't played football in a long time that came back out again, and the numbers were really good. We had a couple of really fun falls, so I expect to see that coming out of Collinwood. But and like you mentioned, they're always going to have big, strong kids. So it should be a pretty good fall for them and for Wayne County as well.
Wayne County, 7 starters returning on both sides of the ball. This is a team that's played the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. However, they've had to go on the road a lot. They did win a game on the road a couple years ago. Coach Willis, who was their middle school coach and has now moved up. I see his mom all the time. She works at the Quick Mart down the road. Sweet lady. And, the big thing with them is, man, they want to be at the top of the region. And it's hard when actually McKenzie is in your region, and then the opposite region that you go up against is Richland and Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. and Moore County and that whole bunch. So that's
I guess almost
Cornersville and everybody.
His mindset is just controlling what they can control.
Yeah. Consistency's been big because
Exactly.
they beat Richland last year on opening day at home. And then it was they got McNairy Central, a 3A team come. Their schedule is not easy. Perry County's in that region as well. Collinwood's always going to be tough, but their goal every year is A, make the playoffs, B, get a home game. And they might have the pieces to make it work this year.
Yeah, I would say it is going to be a tough region, obviously, with McKenzie in it. But again, if you can, like Kate said, control the controllables. See if you can get a big winner against Richland. You got Summertown on the schedule, but you really have to control your region games. That's how you get in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Summertown game. They go to I think
Summertown comes to them.
Yeah, because they were the home opener for Summertown, their new stadium last year. Well, guys, the big news yesterday. Not one, two former Loretto Mustangs, former teammates, started in games in the big leagues last night. We'll start off in the Bronx because anytime the Cardinals go down, it's a beautiful thing.
That's right. Especially when you're
Ryan
a Cubs
Weathers,
fan, right?
man, yeah. 6 shutout innings. He's now 5-7 on the year. 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 88 pitches. His ERA's down to 3.79. And you got to help a couple home runs from Lombard and Chisholm.
Speaking of Lombard, right there,
making his debut,
MLB debut,
right
there, and he homered in his debut, the shortstop for the Yankees.
Ryan's record's very deceiving because he has not gotten a lot of good run support at all from the Yankees. He has not made that an excuse. Good. I love to see him talk like that he's not making an excuse, but man, he got enough and he rewarded him for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he has been lights out this month. He's thrown 18 and I believe it's 18 and a third straight scoreless innings.
Yeah, and you look at his regular season numbers up now, 132 strikeouts on the year to 34 walks. He struggled some in the past over last couple years, maybe a little bit in Miami, and then when he started his career in San Diego with the walk issue, throwing a lot of pitches. Obviously, the home run issue is still kind of there, but man, that strikeout to walk ratio now is just unbelievable. And I mean, I'll compare him to like what she's projected. ESPN's got him projected right under 200 strikeouts on the year, and that's
incredible.
Good. I mean, with a sub 4 ERA, I know his like AJ said, his record is deceiving, but up to 4 wins now, but in 22 starts. But man, if you can get to 200 strikeouts on the year, have less than 50 walks. You're doing something right.
Yeah, and you mentioned that his record is a little deceiving. He's 5-7 in starts, but the Yankees in games he has started are 11-11. So he is doing just as much as he can. Got a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. This is the first time this season his strikeouts per 9 has dropped below 10, but he has still been electric. And I would say this last month has been really nice for him. He hasn't given up more than 1 run in a start since back in July 20th.
Yeah, and his counterpart, Blade Tidwell, rocky first inning. I think he gave up 2 runs, and 2 runs, 6 hits, and I think a lot of that came in the first inning. He was able to strike out 3, finished right at 100 pitches. His ERA is now 3.18. He did not take the loss. His offense woke up in the 7th and 9th, got walked off in the bottom of the 9th inning there against Texas. But after a shaky start, I thought he really, really settled in very well.
And he's had a kind of a confusing year. He started the year in AAA and then got called up the first month, played the entirety of April, got sent back down, and those were all relief appearances in his first time up. Got sent back down, got lengthened out to be a starter, and then San Francisco pretty much traded everybody on Monday, so they needed an arm that they could rely on, and made the call to Blade from out in Sacramento and gave him a quality start. Just couldn't find enough runs to pick up the win.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with you. Quality start. Of course, pitch count a little elevated due to that first inning.
I would say I think it was a 35 pitch first inning.
Yeah, that there, and you'll have that sometimes. But 5 innings, like AJ mentioned, and only 2 runs given up. I mean, what more? What more can you ask for there? I mean, not a bad job at all. He did have the 3 strikeouts, and this is the first game he has pitched in the show since back in April. So it was good to see him back up in the show and throwing well. He did throw quite a bit back in April out of the pen for San Francisco, but now it was very good to see him as a starter for that Giants team.
It's just good to see him. You get It's a tough start. You give
Yes,
up both
yes.
of those runs. One of them's a homer, and then they get more guys on base, and you give up a single. But like to really settle in for shutout innings after that, and your team, their bullpen after that kept it going until the 8th and 9th.
Right.
So I thought it's
Yeah,
good for him. Hopefully,
and when you look at
the organization and his current manager and his former head coach at Tennessee kind of notices what he's got with him.
Well, AJ, that I'm sitting here looking at the record there. They're right above Colorado at 48 and 66 on the year. Probably going to miss the playoffs this season. And under first year head coach Vitello up there in San Francisco, but that you traded a Rise. I don't know what you got for him. I'm not sure. I didn't really see that.
Probably.
go down.
I'm going to guess most of the things they got back were prospects.
Yeah, he goes to the
pretty
Phillies
sure
and
it was
had a
nothing but prospects.
had a heck of a team debut over there. Had 2 hits.
Yeah.
Old Luis Rise, we've always kind of known, just getting on base and finding singles. But he goes to somewhat of a better team, I would say, in the Phillies. And San Francisco still, they're 21 games back, and they're struggling a little bit. Have kind of been struggling all year, so hopefully they can end on a high note.
And I was surprised to see the Giants not get rid of Devers, because I thought that was going to be a big piece that they were going to try to lose at the deadline. But I'm guessing nobody wanted them, obviously, because it's a lot of money and a lot of drama that comes with them.
Exactly.
But hopefully, I think this is a good opportunity to try to give Blade an extended stay in the majors to see if he can sort of figure things out now with kind of the position the Giants are in.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at just where baseball is, my boys took care of Scooble last night. He got a loss. His Dodgers debut. The Dodgers and the Cubs are tied right now as we're recording this in the first inning.
And you got Shohei and Pete Crow Armstrong each with the solo home run.
Yeah, PCA trying to make that MVP push, and he's doing, from what it said, 420 feet. So depending on where that ball went,
that was smoked.
He crushing. I'm sure Wrigley popped like crazy.
Yeah,
but,
he's already up.
And listen, AJ, I watched the entire game last night. Watched most of the game 2 nights ago. It felt like a playoff game last night. The environment, just the big game feel.
Yeah, and the Cubs are just getting the better of them.
Yeah.
Their new guy, they gave up one of their top prospects. Comes out of the bullpen and looks unhittable.
Yeah, Zephyr John, he looked really good.
Well, and y'all got, the Cubs able to get Kevin Gausman at the trade deadline. When is he?
I think tomorrow.
Okay, he's going to go tomorrow. I guess that would. Is that the end of the series today?
I think today is the last game.
Shota Iyamaga is pitching right now.
So they're going to be they'll have tomorrow off and then be in Arizona on Friday.
But we haven't.
Or that was LA. My bad.
We haven't really discussed this on our side of it, but like the Scooble trade is big, but the more I'm reading into it, because the Dodgers are paying more in luxury tax money than most teams' total payroll. There's like 9 teams that their luxury tax is more above. It's clearly we're heading to some sort of work stoppage next year. This is, I think teams are noticing that. That's why I think the Cubs did what they had to do. The Dodgers did what they had to do. I don't know why the Brewers didn't make any sort of change.
Them and the Yankees both.
Yeah, the Brewers have the best record in baseball, but clearly they have some holes. Who doesn't? Every team does. But and I was just talking. We were here with Coach Clint Wright through text message, and he's saying this is going to have an effect on high school ball because of guys that who leaves, who doesn't leave. It's going to have an effect on the college side of things. But one thing it could have a positive effect on, if we don't have Major League Baseball, we're still going to have the minors because it's a different thing.
It is.
College baseball, it's already booming in popularity, might become more popular. More people might come to local high school games. I hope. But I think for the future of the game, very bad.
Yeah.
You cannot have a total work stoppage. Only, the owners want to, and it's over the salary cap. The owners want it, the players don't. And you can't blame the players because you want everyone to get paid.
Exactly.
You blame the owners for everyone giving all these guys this. Kyle Tucker sucks.
Yeah, and he's getting way too much money.
You're paying how much for a guy that, what part of last year, especially the second half of last year, made you think that guy's worth that money?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Dodgers, I saw something the other day, is probably on a similar thing that you did. They have $1.1 billion in deferred contracts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I won the lottery, and it's up right now, and none of it was taken away with taxes, I'm still out like $350 million trying to pay those guys back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is insane. And, I had I don't remember if it was MLB Network or something, a sports media entity trying to convince me that the Dodgers actually needed Skubal and it wasn't more of a luxury, that they didn't have enough pitching. I don't know if I can buy that. I think that this was just.
I mean, look at
what Detroit got back.
I know.
Nothing.
Well,
I tell you what the Dodgers do have. That's 5 consecutive losses.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they have not won a game.
Hopefully 6 after
Hopefully
today.
6. Hopefully the Cubs will take care of them today.
Yeah, Red Sox and the Cubs taking care of business.
That's right. We do what we can. We try to help everybody. We
doing our part.
We take 3 out of 4 from the. It's wild. We've had a wild. Like we take 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals, lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees, and take the first 2, could potentially sweep the Dodgers. Like, what team is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing is, we're 16 games over 500, 5.5 back of the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
Who the last time we played them, we took 2 out of 3 in their
and
build.
I
was at one of those.
What's y'all's record over the last, say, 50 games? I mean,
it's the best.
They have the best record in baseball. Funny enough, I think it is still the case, but since the day I got engaged, because the Cubs have had the best record in baseball.
Love is in the air. Every time I look around.
Yeah, I mean, we were mentioning Kyle Tucker and the money he made. I mean, he 10 homers, 52 RBIs on the year, but played 110 games, almost every game. I mean, 92 hits,
nothing that's worth that much money.
No.
Shohei's batting close to 300. That's amazing. Freddie Freeman 310. But then you look, Kyle Tucker 243, Mookie Betts 223. I mean, these guys that they have millions and millions of dollars attached to that aren't producing.
Yeah.
Mookie's getting up in age a little bit and is dealing with some injuries.
He did, especially this season. This season, he started the year on the IL, I believe, and then of course he's only played 17 games. 77 games, and he is up to 13 home runs, 36 RBIs on the season. But still, he is getting older.
Yeah.
Well, guys, coming up next, we'll get into a recent article on ESPN, the biggest games in each Power Four conference. We'll dig into that. Also, we'll play a little bit more Name That Schedule. We return here on X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen.
You count on your coat to keep you covered through the winter months, your hat to keep you covered in the summer sun, your umbrella to keep you covered in stormy weather, and you can count on Marcus Insurance to keep you covered too. Marcus Insurance can help you find the right insurance policy that fits your individual needs. For personal, life, health, or business insurance, we've got you covered. Marcus Insurance, providing peace of mind since 1969.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
Hey folks, you'll never guess where I'm at today. That's right, I'm at my Quick Mart store. Starting off with a fresh cup of coffee, and guess what's next? The biscuit. That was quick and easy, and I'm ready to start my day. Head on over to your favorite Quick Mart store and start your day out right.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
This is the X Sports Network.
We're going to get this figured out at some point. But we are back here on X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. Kate Schultz, Michael Marks, AJ Good here from my dining room right now inside my house while the studio is being worked on. My dog is literally behind Mike right now. She's sleeping, really pissed off that we're here right now, interrupting her sleep time. And I know a present's about to go on my side of the bed when I go do some more football previews after this. She's cute, but she's very spiteful at the same time. Well,
it's a good alarm system you got here. As soon as me and Kate got in the garage, I mean, she let you know.
That first bark, it's a good thing I used the bathroom before you guys came here. I would have peed right on the floor. Because after it's like this really high-pitched thing. But yeah, when intruder, you guys got the full sniff down from top to bottom. She is very thorough. Very thorough. So she recognized the threat. Was no threat. And now we're doing X Sports Live right now. Well, guys, I said we're going to get into what ESPN's Bill Connolly says are the best games in each conference slate. Coming up, we're going to start with the ACC. September 19th, SMU at Louisville. Here's what he has to say. We don't have to wait long for the conference hierarchy to establish itself, especially considering Week 0's Virginia NC State game of Brazil. That is a non-conference game, by the way. This Week 3 encounter will be Louisville's first Saturday game of the season. The Cardinals play Ole Miss on Sunday, Week 1, then Villanova on Friday, Week 2, and it's a big one.
Yeah, and that is going to be a huge game because the ACC, we don't really know how to judge them right now because obviously Miami coming off the national title game, but where do you look next? Is Clemson's kind of on the way down, Florida State's on the way down, but you've also got some young, exciting teams like the Virginias, like the Dukes. I think North Carolina is going to have a much better year. Virginia Tech is going to be really fun, but I think that one is going to be a big telling point, especially Jeff Brahmy's won 9 games each year. He's been at Louisville, and I think this year with Lincoln Kienholz, the transfer from Ohio State, I think it's going to be the best quarterback play he's had.
Yeah, and then the next game on the list, we go into October, Miami at Clemson. After last season's epic skepticism, SP Plus is actually more optimistic about Clemson's potential this season than most prognosticators seem to be, and after a Week 1 trip to LSU comes this huge game if the Tigers are to produce redemption in 2026. We will know after this game.
Yeah, this is actually a huge game because I think Clemson is going to be one of the very few teams in the ACC that can compete with Miami head-to-head on a talent-based thing. Did lose a lot of guys to the draft last year, but I don't think Dabo's done. They had their worst year in 15 seasons last year. I don't think you're going to see a repeat of that. I don't think Clemson's going to win that game, but that one's definitely going to have some eyes on it early in October.
Miami also, I think, goes to, and we might have mentioned something about Notre Dame the other day, I think.
They got a game at Notre Dame.
They also go to Notre Dame, which is very big. That's big for Notre Dame.
Right.
And so I don't know a lot about college football yet. I'm learning, but I do realize Notre Dame, that's a big game for Notre Dame.
This is conference, though.
Yes.
You can lose that game and still find your way, especially the way the playoff is now. You can still find your way in the playoff winning a game like this.
Right.
October 24th, the Hokies, Virginia Tech at Clemson. This will be James Franklin's first Tech team. Gets this far into the season before playing a projected top third. Wow, they get halfway through the schedule before this.
Yeah.
That offers Hokies quite a bit of runway to figure things out and could make this game very important.
I think it's the Cornball Bowl. I mean, you got you've got James Franklin versus Dabo Swinney. Virginia Tech is going to be an interesting team this year because it just took a lot of those guys from Penn State a year ago, and they've got their old head coach as their defensive coordinator now in Brent Pry. So I think the Hokies are going to be a lot better this year, but I don't know if they're going to be at Clemson's level yet.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit, but, I mean, again, you don't play anybody projected in the top 30
until almost
you get to
Halloween.
Yeah, the weekend before Halloween.
Almost November.
You could be, I mean, what is that, 6 games.
Probably,
it could be
yeah.
6-7-0, maybe 5-1, 6-1. Already with the bowl wrapped up. I mean, James Franklin loves to turn things around quickly. Could be good, and I love Virginia Tech. Always have. I cover the team. It's a group. If you've never been to a
an
game,
inner Sandman, you just can't beat that.
No, you can't. October. Speaking of, the next week is Clemson again. They're at Florida State. Clemson is evidently the ACC's hinge team. Either Tigers will make a run back to the title game, or they'll help you determine who does instead. And if you told me right now that Florida State is going to produce a top 20 caliber surge or finish under 500 for the 3rd straight season, I'd believe you.
Yeah, I'm not high on Florida State this year. Mike
No one
Norvell
is.
has not, other than that 12-0 regular season that I think carried a lot on his transfer portal class. He hasn't given us anything that can prove that he is a sustainable head coach in the ACC, especially at a school with the notoriety of Florida State. I think they're going to have a very, very underwhelming year.
Well, was it not Florida State that beat Bama in week 1?
And everybody was like,
last
wow,
year
man.
or 2 years ago?
Last year.
It was like, and then they go on to, what was the record last year? Do you know?
Did they finish 5-7?
I don't even, I think they had a losing record.
Yeah, they didn't make a bowl game.
So I would say 4-8 or 5-7. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of crazy there. Let's get, and the final one, Blade up, he already mentioned it. Miami and Notre Dame in November.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be late in the season. These teams are going to be probably about to their, as good as they can get. And I don't think this is going to have a playoff spot on the line. I think they'll both probably make it, barring any unforeseen circumstances. But this is going to be one of the better games of the season.
Yeah.
They're two incredibly talented teams, and I think you're going to have a bit of a spiteful Notre Dame versus a Miami team with a bit of a chip off their shoulder.
Well, I think so. I think what you mentioned earlier, what you just said, Michael, is big there. Being late in the season for this game, they've already played. I don't know, 8-9 games, I guess, maybe to this point.
I think that's going to be week 9. So
week 9, something like that. So both teams has got experience. They're established. They know what they want to do. They know who they want to give the ball to. They know who they want to run their stuff through, and it's going to be best on best probably. So
and Notre Dame Stadium, when they have a big game, is an unbelievable environment.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we move ahead now to the Big 12. September 12th, Arizona at BYU. Texas Tech missing most of its top projected teams in conference play and starting out so far ahead in the projections. Red Raiders won't play a role on this list, but both BYU and Utah face a run of challenges starting early with Arizona's visit to Provo. BYU stole an overtime win over the Wildcats last season. This game, along with Houston's Week 3 trip to Tech, should serve as a solid tone setter.
Yeah, I'm really high on Arizona this year. Lost a ton of their defense last year to the NFL draft, but you still have Noah Fafita. And as long as he's been there, he has been great. Brett Brennan is a great head coach. But BYU, that defense is going to be tough. As long as Kalani Sitake is going to be there, they're going to have a good defense. Bear Bachmeier's back. LJ Martin, their leading running back, is back. If they can find another receiver to replace the guys they lost from last year, this could be a very dangerous BYU team.
Yeah. And they don't have any drama at quarterback this time.
Nope.
But Arizona,
that's a plus.
Yeah, Arizona's.
I mean,
just,
as far as behind the scenes stuff, I mean, that plays a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, they had their quarterback from 2 years ago, Jake Retzloff, had some sexual assault allegations come out.
And then goes to BYU.
Yeah, well, no, and then he left BYU and went to Tulane. So, they and that happened in like June.
Yeah.
So it was right before the season started. So, again, good to not have any drama this year.
Yeah, and let's see. Well, I had it, and I'm clicking around a little bit too much.
I think
October,
BYU at TCU.
Yeah, BYU at TCU October 3rd. TCU has won 9 games for 2 straight seasons, and a new offensive coordinator quarterback combination could make the Horned Frogs wild cards in the title hunt. They're starting to turn. They're kind of like Oklahoma State. Every other year.
Every other year.
And this could be the year that TCU is really good.
Yeah, and the lost quarterback from last year, and Josh Hoover, he's off to Indiana. But I think that kind of gives them a little bit of a fresh look in the quarterback department, and I feel pretty good with whoever Sonny Dykes throws under center.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I don't know all about BYU that much, but going back to as far as you're talking about quarterback changes. Miami quarterback last year was Carson Beck, correct? Yep. Okay, so he is in the NFL now. I think he's going to make the start in the
Hall of Fame
game. I did see that somewhere. So you're moving on. Miami's moving on there. Who is Do y'all know by chance who is going to fill that role?
I think it's going to be the Darian Mensah that transferred from Duke.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Let's get on to the next game. It's a holy war.
Yeah.
A lot of BYU and Utah in this, but they played a great game last year. Utah's got a new head coach, Kyle Whittingham. Actually, they got 3. We're just going to go on the next 2. Utah at Arizona, Utah at TCU. Morgan Scalley's first Utah team faces a couple of enormous, actually 3 straight late challenges. These results might eliminate the Utes from title contention or knock out a couple of hopefuls. If Utah, say, goes 2-1,
that's what I was just thinking,
or 3-0, they're the best team in the Big 12.
Yeah, I think they're going to be right up there with Texas Tech. A team that isn't mentioned here other than a Week 3 game against Texas Tech, Houston. I think they're going to be quietly really good, got their quarterback back, and Willie Fritz is a great defensive head coach.
Absolutely. Very, very good. Moving on to the Big Ten, we start off in October. USC at Penn State, maybe the first huge conference game of the season, is an elimination game of sorts. Penn State could announce itself as a dark horse with a win here, and USC, coming off home games against Oregon and Washington, will either be trying to stay in the title race or simply stay afloat.
Yeah, it's going to be a desperate Lincoln Riley versus a very amped up Matt Campbell team. That's going to be a ton of fun. Quarterback play is going to be great. Rocco Beck versus Jade Mava. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm looking for USC to have a big year this year.
Yep. Next one after that, I'm clicking around a little bit too much.
Ohio State at Indiana.
2 weeks later, for a conference desperately trying to ditch conference title games, the Big 12 sure had a great one last season, and here's a repeat of it as they go to Bloomington this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's great on great. I'm glad that we're finally getting some more of these big in-season matchups in the Big Ten. It feels like some years they're a little bit down. This year is not one of those.
Yeah, October 24th, Indiana and Michigan. Kurt Cignetti's champs survived midseason trips to Iowa and Penn State last season. Will face another tricky one here because Ohio State comes to them. Then they go to Michigan the next week and his potentially chest-puffing chip on their shoulder Wolverines.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Michigan puts on the field week 1. With Kyle Whittingham coming over from Utah. This is going to be a clash of styles. Cignetti versus Whittingham. It's going to be, kind of. I look at this as a chess match of a game. I'm really excited for this one.
And Michigan are they the front runner in that conference?
I would say probably maybe third or fourth.
I mean, you're looking, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana.
Okay.
Washington's a dark horse.
State.
USC's a dark horse. Michigan, ever since winning the title and all the scandal and Harbaugh going to the Chargers, they've kind of been upper mid-tier.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put them, yeah.
Well, speaking of two of the teams I just mentioned, November 7th, Oregon goes to Ohio State. Only 2 big teams have winning records against Ohio State in this decade. Michigan's 4-1, Oregon's 2-1. The Buckeyes, who lost their last home game to each, will host both of them within the last 4 weeks of the regular season.
Wow. So you're telling me we get Notre Dame, Miami, the Holy War, and Oregon, Ohio State the same week?
I'm not leaving the house.
Yeah, I would say you can go ahead and nail me to the
Where's
couch.
Tennessee that week?
I think that might be the maybe Kentucky or South Carolina, one of those. So not too big of a game.
We can stay home. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then November 21st, Indiana, Washington. Washington's a bit of a mystery here this season. Jeff Fish, great coach. But amid all the customarily huge late-season Big Ten games, this one could be sneaky big.
And it's a long trip for Indiana heading out west.
And a lot of great teams have gone to Seattle in November and died.
And when you already look at how many times Indiana is mentioned, they have a home game against Ohio State, and they have to go to Michigan, and then a couple of weeks later, they got to go to Washington.
And don't forget about Iowa, Illinois.
Yeah, I would say it's a very middle-heavy conference. Indiana needs to watch out for some injury troubles this year. It's going to be their first year without their strength and conditioning coach they've had the last 4 or 5 years. So I think that's something to keep an eye on.
We move ahead to the SEC, guys. September 26th, A&M at LSU. Granted, LSU's Week 3 trip to Ole Miss might be the biggest SEC game of the season thanks to last winter's Lane Kiffin soap opera, but by the criteria set above, the Tigers' next game back home in Baton Rouge might be even bigger as far as the SEC chase is concerned.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've necessarily looked at this one as a huge game because it is so early in the season. But Texas A&M and LSU has been a great kind of litmus test for each other the past couple of seasons.
They were the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, I'd say remember that 70. Really what was that? That 74 to 72 game or whatever that had all the overtimes.
Game, but I'm not talking about that.
But this is going to be a great litmus test for both of these teams. Is Texas A&M, are they the same level or maybe better than they were last year? Is LSU figuring things out in year one under Lane Kiffin?
I would say they, of course, Lane, that's going to be his first season here. And surely, he's had a good spring and good summer there, getting things organized and ready for this fall.
Steal other people's players.
Trying to steal other people's players.
Maybe their coaches, too.
Yeah, the coaches.
Yeah. October 10th, Georgia at Alabama. We can only pray this one is as good as last season's Bama-Georgia game in Tuscaloosa.
I just feel like these two teams are prone to give us a stinker eventually. Because I mean,
this might be it.
It does feel
we're
like
all
this
looking
is,
at LSU. We're looking at A&M, Tennessee. A lot of people are projecting to be a dark horse in this league. Not a lot of talk about Bama and Georgia.
Right. Yeah, I would say, and I think this might be the biggest disparity in talent so far. And I don't think that necessarily Kalen DeBoer's lost his touch or anything. I just think that Georgia's going to be incredibly talented this year. But it's at Alabama, and despite me not thinking their crowd's the greatest, when it's a night game, they are loud there, and Georgia has really struggled against them. Other than the SEC title last year,
Georgia's defense as strong as it was the last couple of years. I mean, have they?
It should be.
It should be.
Yeah.
They usually bring in a lot of.
It feels like it's just one guy in, one guy out every year with Kirby.
Yeah, well, guys, next up, November 7th, Georgia. Ow, hit the funny bone. Georgia at Ole Miss. These teams played twice last season. The first game decided who would make the SEC title game. The second decided the spot in the CFP semifinals. And hey, for the moment at least, Ole Miss Pete Golding is unbeaten all time against Georgia's Kirby Smart.
Yeah, and those were two excellent games last year. The one during the regular season, you had the big Georgia comeback, and then kind of vice versa in the playoff game, you had Ole Miss with the comeback. I'm excited to see these two go at it again, obviously. I don't know what we're going to see from Pete Golding in year one because he looked really good in the playoffs, obviously, but that wasn't necessarily his team, and he didn't coach them the whole year. And Georgia, there's going to be, I guess you could say year three of Gunnar Stockton. When you have that much consistency at quarterback, it's tough to pick against them.
Yeah. Then finally, November 14th and the 27th, Texas at LSU, Texas at Texas A&M. Texas plays 8 games against projected top 20 teams, and the last 3 are all on the road. The Longhorns will have to hit the ground running thanks to early games against Ohio State and Tennessee, but they'll have to finish even stronger.
Yeah, and that took the words right out of my mouth. You talk about those tough games at the late part of the season. They could start 2-2. They have Ohio State and Tennessee in weeks 1 and week 4, and then you have Texas at LSU, Texas at Texas A&M. Those are 2 road games pretty much to close out your season. Texas needs to start, like they said, start finishing and finish even stronger.
Well,
or start good and then have a good finish.
Speaking of the SEC and the few games I have watched in the past couple of years, South Carolina is not really a pushover at home.
No.
I mean, that seems like a tough place to play, especially a night game.
In November.
Yes.
Not fun.
I mean, their students behind. I think they might stay.
I would say I think they're behind one of the field goals.
One of the goalposts. Yeah.
And that one ends up. Shane Gillis got drunk one time.
Yeah.
And ended up back there.
Very loud.
Yes.
It gets very loud and can be a tough place to play.
I was about to say, you bring that up to Tennessee fans.
They may steal a couple that not necessarily we think they may.
And see, that's the thing, because you look at South Carolina, you look at a schedule, and you're like, man, they might only win 3 or 4 games. But then you look in the season, and they win 2 or 3 games that they shouldn't. It just feels like they do that every year with Shane Beamer. And they've got Kendall Briles now as the offensive coordinator. Yeah. So they're trying to find something to make Lenore Sellers start looking like that 4 or 5-star athlete that he was.
Yeah. Well, guys, let's get into it's time for Name That Schedule. Not going to tell you the conference. You guys are going to have to go from there. The only thing I will say, you do not have any SEC teams on any of these.
That's a good call.
Here we go. Home versus Boise State, at Oklahoma State, home versus Portland State, at USC, week off. Home versus UCLA, home versus Nebraska, at Illinois, home versus Northwestern, at Ohio State, home versus Michigan, at Michigan State, home versus Washington.
All right, so let's do our little breakdown.
Is that a Big 12?
Big 10.
Big 10.
So
Is there a
it's
Big 12 conference?
yeah.
I've got to do that.
So
I knew that one, AJ.
So you have the Big Ten. It's all those teams in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And then you have the Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC.
Yeah.
So week 1, let's do the what we did, the proximity with these non-conference games. So you've got Boise State, which is in Idaho.
Right.
You've got Oklahoma State.
Bluefield. He said, which is in Idaho. Bluefield.
Yes, the Bluefield.
Bluefield.
Yes.
I do know
you got
that.
it, you got
Bluefield.
it.
So then you got Oklahoma State. That one's on the road, or is it in?
It is at Oklahoma State because they
Okay.
went to them the year before.
All right.
Do you know who this is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Portland State's in there. That one confused me.
It's in Oregon.
That, but it's on the schedule. You
Yes,
said it's
they host Portland.
They
State.
host Portland State.
Is that an FCS team, or did they just make the?
No, that's Sacramento State.
Sacramento
I'm
State,
thinking of,
okay.
yeah. Whew, you had me.
I didn't hear Iowa. No.
No, Iowa. You're right.
This team played Iowa last year in a good game.
Mm-hmm. They're in the upper northwest.
And think about who that last game of the year.
Yeah.
What's that last game of the year?
Washington. At home against Washington.
What's it start with, Michael?
I think that letter would probably give it away.
Oh, okay.
It's an O.
Is it Oregon?
It is Oregon.
Okay.
There it is.
I thought I heard Oregon a minute ago.
We're
You
gonna get
might
there.
have said Oregon. That's
As-
your Oregon's.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say I mentioned the team,
Okay.
not necessarily. Yeah.
Ever since they traditionally play, Washington and Oregon's a huge rivalry,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since they don't play or they're not in the same conference as Oregon State, Washington's been their season finale.
And I'm really excited
Marcus
about
Mariota.
I'd say I'm really excited about
That's where
that
he
Oklahoma
played,
State.
right? That is where Mariota.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it. You got it. All right, here's the next one. Mike might even struggle with this. We'll see. Home versus Bethune-Cookman at Pitt. Home versus Georgia State. Home versus TCU at Houston. At Oklahoma State, week off. Home versus BYU. Home versus Baylor at Kansas. Home versus Arizona State. Home versus Iowa State at Colorado.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't make it easy on you. It is a Power 4 team.
Yeah,
That's as far as I'm going
It's
to
a
go.
Big 12.
Big 12.
Yep.
It's not Colorado. That's the last game,
Yeah,
correct?
right. You got it. There you go. PCA's now 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. 3-1 Cubbies.
I'd say you had Dansby hit another solo shot earlier.
Did you say Penn State?
They're at Pitt.
They're
Second.
at Pitt. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, this is a tough one. Because it's not West Virginia. It's not
No,
your guys.
no.
I would say no backyard brawl this year.
No.
That's the one that's throwing me off. The Pitt week 2.
Okay, I think of West Virginia. I think of Boston College. Boston College in the ACC.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
With Clemson and okay.
Yeah, this is Big 12.
Is it Cincinnati?
No.
Okay.
But you're
Getting there.
getting there.
Because I'm trying to think of the last game of the season because I try to make that a rivalry, but it's probably not here.
It's not.
Is it UCF?
You drilled it.
All right.
That was really good.
Central Florida.
Yeah.
Because I was saying Bethune-Cookman's
I was
in
about
Florida.
to say that could be the one that kind of tips you there.
Yeah.
Where that goes.
Who was that first game again?
Bethune-Cookman at
HBCU.
Is that a
they're out
FCS
of,
team?
Yeah, where are they out?
I think it's.
It's Daytona.
Yes.
They're out of
Okay.
Daytona. Yeah. Here we go. Home versus New Hampshire. Home versus Cal at Pitt. Week off. At UConn. At Virginia. Home versus Louisville. At North Carolina. Home versus SMU. Home versus Clemson. At North Carolina State. At Boston College. Home versus Notre Dame. Man, their non-con games are all over the place.
That's
Okay,
a
so
home
this is
versus
a-
Notre Dame.
This is
Yeah.
a ACC.
You got it.
team.
Okay, there you go. Good step in the right direction. This is a brutal schedule for
Yeah, that's
that
what I was
league.
just thinking.
You got them.
I mean, their road trips.
Go over their first couple of games. I'm just trying to think of what
home
they're-
versus New Hampshire, home versus Cal,
That's a little
at
more
Pitt,
north.
week off.
What about- no NC State. Is NC State?
NC State's on the schedule.
On
They
the
go
schedule.
to NC State November 14th.
First couple of weeks are kind of rough.
Yeah.
The Pitt and Cal, because I think they're both going to be sneaky good in the conference.
At road games at UConn, at Virginia, at North Carolina, at NC State, at Boston College.
I
and
think
at
I've
Pitt.
got. I think I've got this one. Kate, you got a guess?
Okay.
No, I'm gonna have to.
Is it Syracuse?
You drilled it.
The
man.
orange.
The Notre Dame.
Northwest-
The Notre Dame at the end of the year.
Yeah, or I thought maybe getting your non-cons New Hampshire and UConn.
Yeah,
might have,
that was
tempted.
really out of left field.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that will do it for another episode of Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. I don't know where we're going to be Friday.
I think we're going to do a show in the studio while it is being constructed on Friday.
We
so
talked about that, AJ.
I'm
We
wearing
talked
a
about
helmet,
that.
That's what I think.
We talked about that yesterday. And
Yeah. So in our half constructed or deconstructed studio.
Well, it might turn into we might need Johnny Knoxville to come in.
We might.
Well, I say we just put each of us wear one of the helmets that we have on.
Put the helmet on. And they're doing construction while we're in there. But we'll
be
see
in
where
there.
we are on Friday, but we do have a show. So for Cade, Michael, and myself, and my dog Ellie, who is really mad at me, we'll see you on Friday on Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen.
This is
It
the
was funny when
Exports
Sam tore all
Network.
them lights out. I was like, was all them lights